Hi everyone, my name is Kimberly and I am the nutrition coach here, and this is our very first video training, and it's really the heart of my program, all in this video training. This is a hormone approach first, fat loss plan. So if you've ever heard of blood sugar control for weight loss, that's what this is. And some people might think, oh, this is just for diabetics. And no, that really couldn't be further from the truth, because we all need to get our blood sugar under control so we're not having sugar crashes and reaching for coffee all day, every day, day in and day out. So if you'd let me explain things and go a little bit deeper to you, I find if my clients really know the why and the science behind things, it seems to help them with their food choices and help them understand why they are doing things the way are doing them. And my goal is to help you experience food freedom and not have it control you any longer, especially now after the holidays, right? We all have these New Year's resolutions going, and we're trying to get rid of all the sweets in the house. But if you're like me, they are literally calling me by name. Kimberly, you know you want that last cookie before anyone else gets it. Hurry, one of your kids are going to get it. It'll be gone by tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe that never happens to you, but it does to me. But it really feels like the more we eat them, the more we crave them. And that's really what's going on here. So blood sugar control, that's really the science behind this program. And I know it's going to be new to some of you, but for many of you, it's going to be a huge, huge eye opener. And light bulbs are going to start going off. And that's really what I want. So let's get started. And let's talk a little bit about macronutrients. We have 3 macronutrients. We have proteins, and that's what breaks down into amino acids in your body. And then we have fats, and that breaks down the fatty acids in the body. And then we have carbohydrates, and those break down into blood sugar. So because we're going to be focusing on blood sugar control, we're mainly going to be focusing on the carbohydrate part, because that's what has the most negative effect on our blood sugar. So let's walk through just a couple of different scenarios right now. So let's say you wake up, you get ready in the morning, you're rushing out the door, maybe to go to work or take your kids to school. You stop at Starbucks for maybe a healthy oatmeal or a non-fat latte, and just grab a Kind bar. But it doesn't keep you full for very long. So probably by 9 o'clock, maybe 10 at the very latest, you are going to get really hungry. And when hunger strikes that soon, you really need to take a look at the previous meal and see what you ate and where you went wrong. And because that meal was 100% carbohydrates, that is what is going to break down in our bodies. And our blood sugar is going to spike fairly quickly, because basically you just ate 100% carbs, whether it's healthy fruit or a bagel or oatmeal, it's carbs. And it's going to break down the blood sugar in your body. So our blood sugar spikes up, and then you know that old saying about what comes up must come down. And so that's what's going to happen. It's going to drop really, really quickly. And then when we have low blood sugar, that's when those cravings really start to come in. So again, maybe it's 9, maybe 10 o'clock, and we're sitting at our desk. Chances are we're not going to be craving chicken or salad or broccoli, because our bodies, they want to stay in that homeostasis range, right? The normal level. And the only way to get there now is to eat more carbs. So maybe you want to order a pizza. I don't know. But maybe this time you're thinking, oh, I'm going to lunch with my coworkers. I'm going to be good because I'm on a diet. I'm trying to lose weight. I've made that New Year's resolution. So you order a salad or some chicken. and then you leave, and hey, maybe you're feeling good for an hour or so, but for most of us, that comes the afternoon lull. And that happens for a couple reasons. One, you're having a blood sugar spike and then going low, and then you're like, maybe I'll grab one of those brownies or stop at Starbucks again on the way home. And then there we are, being on that roller coaster ride once again. So I like to compare it to this: being on a roller coaster ride all day with your sugar levels going up and down. It's kind of like being in a car with a 16-year-old driver that just got his driver's license, and it's like stop, go, stop, go, stop, go every 2 seconds. And it's really exhausting, right? So maybe for dinner, you're going to be good again, right? And have some salmon and steamed vegetables. So ladies, this is what I do. These are the clients that I'm helping. They want to get hold of their blood sugar and stop having these moments of, I'm good now, no, I'm bad. But really, they're just being controlled by their food, and it's all because of their blood sugar. And 90% of the time, it's due to the fact that they are just not being, they're not fueling their bodies properly throughout the day. They're not having balanced meals, which again, puts you on this roller coaster ride all day long. You can't expect one good meal, that chicken salad for lunch or that salmon and vegetables that you ate for dinner, to fix the problem. You've got to repeat and repeat and repeat and really become consistent to fix those problems. So I'm sure that many of you can relate to this. I know that also part of the problem is that you're on this diet. And usually these weight loss plans leave you hungry a lot in between meals. But what I'm going to teach you is that you don't have to be hungry all day. I'm going to teach you to actually listen to those hunger hormones that are talking to you, and how to keep you full most of the day so you're not reaching for those brownies and those lattes to keep you going. Because be honest here, it's hard to lose weight when you're hungry all day and thinking about food, especially the food you can't have, like those brownies or so if you're like me and like most of my clients, you want to be able to lose weight without counting calories or counting macros. And yes, it is possible. That's what blood sugar controlled fat loss is about, because by controlling your blood sugar and your other hormones, you won't be having these blood sugar crashes and spikes all day long. When we eat any meal at all, it releases a hormone called insulin, and insulin is a storage hormone. And when insulin is in our body, it's in storage mode. It's not in breakdown mode. So when we're eating meals that are really high in carbohydrates, it's going to produce too much of that hormone insulin. And when we do, it winds up stopping our bodies from being able to burn fat. So that's what we really want to do, is figure out how to balance our hormones. And studies actually show if we eat protein first in the morning, like with breakfast or for breakfast, we actually are going to stay fuller longer, and it keeps us from binge eating throughout the day. So when it comes to food cravings in general, for the most part, it's carbohydrates, right? We're not usually craving broccoli or Brussels sprouts. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is generally speaking. And the reason for that is we are not eating enough of the other macronutrients, not enough protein or not enough fats. They are the ones that are actually going to keep us fuller longer. They're full of fiber. And that's one of the purposes of fiber, is to create a bulk, and it helps keep us fuller longer. So if you take anything away from this video at all, it's to eat more balanced meals. I've heard from countless clients that don't think they're eating carbohydrates all day, but really they are. Like if you're having oatmeal in the morning or even a homemade smoothie, it's loaded with fruit, and that burrito bowl in the afternoon with rice and beans and vegetables, those are all carbs, guys. So I really want to teach you how to get off this roller coaster and feel full and satisfied all day, not feeling tired, feeling energized, and feeling good. So let's go over some of the macronutrients. Protein. Protein comes from mainly animal sources like fish, chicken, beef, or you have some dairy sources also like yogurt, eggs, cottage cheese. I want to make sure you are having protein with every single meal. I aim for clients to have about 20 grams of protein with each meal. So that's about a fourth of your plate. And what that is going to do is shut off those hunger hormones and increase some hormones that cause satiety. For example, when we eat protein, it increases a hormone called GLP-1. And that's a hormone that produces satiety and makes us feel really full. And also, the more protein we eat, it shuts off other hormones that cause us to crave carbs. So I call it I call protein a crave killing, because it really does. It kills your craves. And I know many of us struggle with this, especially at breakfast. We tend to gravitate more towards breads or muffins or oatmeals, etc. So maybe we could get a thread going on breakfast, and we could be posting what we normally have for breakfast, and I could give you feedback, comments like, oh, that looks good. Looks like you're starting your day off great, or maybe not so great. But this is the thing. You need to be willing to take the feedback on, no, we should probably change that up a bit. So again, every meal we should be having protein. And the next macronutrient we mentioned was fats. And I know this one is highly controversial. A lot of my clients are scared and they're shocked that we should be eating fats with every single meal. Not only does fat help aid in being able to absorb vitamins and nutrients into your bloodstream, into your cells, and that it's full of antioxidants, it's going to actually help you feel full. And fat is really important because it takes the longest to digest. It's going to be that macronutrient that gets us from breakfast to lunch, and from lunch to dinner, and from dinner to breakfast without feeling starving and feeling so snacky. And it's going to be the longest macronutrient that stays in your body. So they're super, super, super important. So make sure you have fat on your plate. And it produces a satiety hormone called leptin. And fats is where we're going where are we going to get quality fats? Sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Where we can get quality fats from are things like nuts, seeds, olive oil, avocado, coconut oil, and ghee butter. That's another really great source. That's a great thing to be adding to your vegetables that helps them be more satisfying. Please go for it. Eating chicken and broccoli all day is boring. You need to have variety, or it's just not going to be attainable. There's so many wonderful food choices out there to keep you from getting bored with this eating lifestyle. And eating fats is definitely going to help change things up for you, keep you full after meals, a good full fill, not the tired and sluggish full meal like after Thanksgiving dinner. So fiber is the other thing you should be having with every single meal. And the reason fiber is so important is because your stomach is being stretched, and it creates a bulk in your stomach that also helps you feel full. And you find the most fiber from your non-starchy carbohydrates like vegetables. So fiber is definitely another key ingredient that's going to help you aid in fat loss, keeping you fuller longer, eating the veggies you like. You don't have to eat veggies you don't like, okay? But I do encourage you to keep trying different veggies so that you open up your food palette and that you do become you just start to like more veggies, okay? The more you try them, the more you get used to them. But don't eat them plain, okay? Add some fats to them. Enjoy them with pesto sauce or Alfredo sauce. Just eat them. So the key, again, here is that all three of these macronutrients, they work together to shut off your hunger hormones, to keep your blood sugar stable. You see, when you eat a meal like that, your blood sugar is not doing this. Up and down, up and down. We're doing this. we're just more stable. And that's what we want. We want our hunger hormones balanced so that we can feel in control of our food choices. I love, 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 love hearing from my clients that they feel so in control of their food choices. When we eat like this, we eat and have protein and fat and veggies on our plates at every meal. You're not going to be having these cravings for other foods all day long, as opposed to eating carbohydrates that leave so rapidly and they spike our blood sugar and they don't keep us full for very long. And then they just keep us wanting more carbohydrates. So does that mean we can never eat carbohydrates again? Well, yes, of course you can. I want fruit, and yes, I'm sure you knew fruit is a carbohydrate. You should have one meal a day with a starch serving. And that could be a half a cup of fruit or brown rice or a slice of whole wheat toast. There's so many on the list that I can't go through them all, but it is important to pair that starchy carb with a protein so that you are still keeping those things in check. Okay, for example, apples with peanut butter or toast with scrambled eggs. The key is to pair one serving of that non-starchy carb with a protein, and preferably not another fat or another starch. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you. Does that mean never? No, of course not. I would just say in general at 90% of the time, so that you are consistent and not throwing those hormones out of whack again. So I'm really hoping this makes sense to you all. Honestly, guys, if you start eating like this, your cravings are going to go away. Your hormones are going to be so much better balanced, and you're going to be feeling so much better and not having crashes all day. I remember a time in my life where I was so fatigued, I was so tired, and my energy was just tanked, and I honestly couldn't understand what was going on. I was working out and eating healthy, so I thought, and I just had no idea that my body was so stressed out from all the cardio and that what I was eating wasn't working for my body. And stress is another thing that can affect your hormones, your hormone called cortisol, and I teach women how to keep that stress hormone down as well. You see, this is really a hormone first approach to fat loss, and it works. So recap once more, it doesn't matter if you think a carbohydrate is healthy or not. That bagel or fruit or smoothie, it's all causing your blood sugar to spike rapidly. Insulin will come in, it'll do its job, and then comes the crash. And then you need more carbs to get you back up again. And then you have it up and down all day long. But if you can understand and learn how to eat, it will literally save your life. We won't be consuming so many empty, non-nutrient foods every day just to keep our bodies full of something. And any excess weight is dangerous, folks. Excess weight can lead to so many health challenges, and we want to stop that right now. We want to stop the cycle and teach our kids a better way of eating, better eating habits, so that they don't end up in the same boat that we are in, right? So a couple of other tips for cravings I'd like to share is this. Stay hydrated. That is super important in the fat loss process too. Our bodies can become easily dehydrated when we get weak or shaky. So sometimes that can get confused with hunger, especially if our hormones are out of whack. So drinking water can help our body stay balanced and keep everything flushing through. And it'll also help keep our minds from being in such a fog. And if we get a weird craving out of the blue, instead of just giving in, try chugging a full glass of water, and that could certainly help in resetting things. And if it's nighttime and you are really in need of something that night, don't just reach for those carbs, the chips or the popcorn. Try reaching for something like a yogurt or protein shake, something that will really shut down the hunger. Because if you are really hungry and not bored, you need to address it. I hope this video has been helpful to you and for you to understand what I do here. I take a hormone approach to weight loss first and then get you in a calorie deficit, which is really just another lesson. But the meat of this program is right here and how to get our hormones balanced. And in our next training video, we will address some other cravings that actually have little to do with what we're putting on our plates right now and how to get a handle on those cravings. Things like environmental cravings, habitual cravings, and even some hormonal cravings. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next lesson. Bye, guys.